Welcome back to Through the Window podcast. You are joined by co-host Joss, Max, and regular host Benjamin Lawton.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Ben.
Hello.
You're looking very swole today.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit more comfortable today. You know, this has to be my 50th, 60th podcast now, and I just am feeling a bit more comfy. A bit
seasoned
more
veteran.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just leaning back in the chair a bit. I'm ready to have a good convo with some good people about some great topics, and I'm looking forward to it, gents.
Look at that.
So corporate.
For those listening on audio, Ben is laying back in his chair, microphone in hand, looking swole.
I'm looking good. I'll tell you that.
He's
I'm
looking
looking good.
We hope you all enjoyed the first tech episode. We thought we'd come back and do a second one with all three of us again.
Come on.
Max, you want to give us a little highlight from the last episode?
So, in the last episode, I spoke a little bit about the M1 Max and how ridiculous they are. I believe we actually had a breaking news segment of your certain electric vehicle. I believe that was teased.
Drum roll.
And Joss, I can't remember what you spoke about, I'm not going to lie.
I spoke about Meta.
Meta. Huge
Facebook.
topic, which is constantly evolving.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to you both, I've noticed now that when you open apps, it says Meta and everything, which
It's weird, isn't it?
I don't think was happening when we did that podcast, but it's really odd. And every time I hear about Facebook in the media, it's always being called Meta now, which I guess makes sense, but it's just so weird to see.
A brand that big change. Can you imagine Google changing? It's like, you have to go and wiggle that.
Yeah.
Not Google it.
I've seen loads of companies like looking to. Well, actually, I feel like it's just going to change everything. Like, there's so many companies that are now like, just from that press conference, and obviously that was like a big. You know, they announced quite a lot of big things that they're going to trying to implement. But there's so many companies that are now initiating new projects to sort of fit in with that. It's just going to build on all the. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Since that announcement of the whole metaverse, has the reality of what that means sunk into either of you about what as our life is going to be one day?
I keep seeing more and more things that I'm like, oh, I guess that's how it's going to be used. But I still don't see myself personally investing in it or using it to the degree that I think Facebook or Meta want you to.
I think there is an element of, similar to how I would imagine people kind of took on the first sort of phone or things like that. They're like, oh, but I just talk to my mates down the road. Like, I'm not going to use that much.
Yeah.
Because this is, I would argue, the one thing in quite a long time, technology-wise, that is so vastly different to anything that we've experienced. I think that we just can't really wrap our head around what it's going to be like. And I think it's going to be one of those things that until it's actually there and you can use it, we won't understand.
Yeah, I think that's very, very well put.
Agreed.
I'm so profound.
You're so profound, mate. We've got a bunch of other topics today that we want to jump into, like last time. But to start off, I wanted to go for some quick fire, big headlines that I think have been happening in the tech world recently.
Quick fire.
First one.
round. Whoop, whoop.
First one being that Alphabet, Google's parent company, surpassed $2 trillion in their valuation.
Big money.
Which makes them the third US company to ever do that, behind Apple and Microsoft. And their value doubled just in the pandemic alone.
Alphabet.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
As the world went online, their entire value doubled in like a year.
So they went from 1 trillion to 2 trillion in 12 months.
Yeah. That's insane, isn't it?
That's like crypto gains.
Imagine I don't know how long Alphabet have been around, but imagine all the years before then, you're building up to $1 trillion, and then you just go and double it in 12 months. That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like the sort of lockdown period had such a massive effect on online businesses. There's so many like stories like that. It's like Tesla. Like, that was like, what, 100, 200 quid at the start of lockdown?
750% it went up by.
That's insane. Like,
for a
insane.
company that well known and that big.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
With the risk, it probably isn't that high to get that kind of reward.
So one of the reasons between Google being able to do this is YouTube brought in $7.2 billion just in ad revenue in the third quarter, which I guess is more still people staying at home, working remotely and learning online and stuff. 7.2 in one quarter alone in ad revenue. That's insane.
That's just YouTube.
That's just from YouTube. So that's not even like all the Google business sections that they have of the business and all of that, and
I think I grossly underestimate how much money is in YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah.
But then I suppose splitting it across, because you always see like creators posting videos about how ad spend has obviously gone down, and like their ad revenue's going down slowly. But I suppose when you're splitting it, like there's so many creators on YouTube to have to split that ad revenue. Like I forget how much money YouTube are actually making, or Google are actually making from that.
And that's their biggest divisions, is kind of their digital ads, and then obviously now they're like cloud services, so Google Drive, Google Docs, all of that. Because I think I always forget how many companies, and actually big companies, just use Google services now. I used to work for a company, and they always used to have their own old systems, and then one year they decided to go fully into Google. And you think a big retail store doing that is a big move, and that's just one company.
Yeah.
But putting their, hundreds of thousands of employees on that system, that's a big money move for Google to bring in. So yeah, pretty cool. And just as a fun fact, when Google first went public in 2004, they were valued at 23 billion. So in 17 years, they're now at 2 trillion.
You know the number trillion, right?
Yeah.
We should dissect how big that is.
Go for it.
When you think, like, you have let's say I give you £1,000, right? You times that by 1,000, you get 1 million, right? You times that 1 million by 1,000 again, you get 1 billion, right? Then you have 1 billion, and like you can kind of comprehend how large 1 billion is. Times that by 1,000 again, that's 1 trillion. And it's like, and there's people who can't eat, and there's and there's companies with like astronomical amounts of wealth.
Like that's like money you can't even begin to
comprehend.
Like you can't. I mean, obviously, that's their like evaluation. Like they don't like Google doesn't have 2 trillion in the bank.
In the bank, yeah.
But just that as a number, like you cannot comprehend how big that is, and I wonder how much is the Google CEO. He must be
his
doing
name.
Bits.
He's insane though.
If you put £1 trillion into a savings account and it gives you 1% every year, it will give you £10 billion a year. 1%.
I reckon you could live off that interest rate. I'm not gonna lie.
If you can't live off that, something's wrong.
It's too high, man. It's too damn high.
Do you think at this rate, and I think you mentioned it in the last podcast, with Elon's wealth rapidly increasing, do you think we're going to see a trillionaire within the next 10 years?
By 2030.
By 2030,
yeah.
Because, I mean,
someone worked out the maths I saw in a YouTube video that Jeff Bezos, even if he doesn't invest any more money, if he just goes at this scale of growth that he's going at now and doesn't do anything else, he will hit 1 trillion by the time he's like, before he dies.
Wow.
But there's got to be a plateau, surely.
Nah, because money breeds money. What's going to happen is it's going to indefinitely scale, and the gap between poor and rich will become bigger again, like it was back in the olden times of castles and peasants. But it'll be crazy because debt, and the thing is, debt's going to multiply just as quick. The more debt you get in, the worse the debt gets, right?
Yeah.
But the more money you have, the quicker it grows. So that's why the difference is so toxic.
Yeah.
1 trillion.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tax the rich.
Yeah. All of that.
And all that stuff.
I've no idea what the answer is, but something has to be done.
I've no idea.
Something has to be done.
I'll leave that to the people that know what they're on about.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Next quick fire topic for you is a weird one about streaming services.
Come on.
The main article that I read from Morning Brew, which I highly advise everyone subscribes to because it's a really good condensed way to get the news. Not sponsored.
Morning Brew.
Morning Brew, yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
It's like a newsletter, and they
Very
just
good.
condense loads of finance and business stuff. But yes, it's about Disney Plus slowing down in their subscribers and kind of the whole streaming platform. Whole streaming kind of space slowing down in general. So after adding 12, 9, and 21 million subscribers in the previous 3 quarters, analysts at Disney predicted that they would add 10 million additional new subscribers in the last quarter, but they only added 2.1 million, which is a pretty drastic drop from 10.
So 75% under target. That's
yes,
nuts.
Good maths.
Well, that's,
you love percentages.
well, that's basic
mate.
maths, but that's pretty. That's
Yeah.
like,
Right, sorry.
oh, we've only missed it by like 75%.
Yeah.
Or
So
we're 1/4 of what we should be. That's terrible, Joss.
it is terrible.
If you can you imagine, like, if I come into work and you're like, I'm sorry, Joss, I only got round to doing 25% of my emails today. Why?
Yeah.
It's like coming in and saying, sorry, 25%, no, 75% of my client base has just dropped off overnight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can't pay you this month, I'm afraid.
And so that brings Google to a total of 118 million, which is still a heck of a lot, behind Netflix's 213 million, which I would still say is pretty damn good, because Disney Plus has been around, what, a maximum of 2 years?
I think it launched in the March of lockdown.
There you go.
There was a lot of hype
Impeccable
around
timing,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you guys members of Disney Plus?
I am.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not. My girlfriend is, though. She likes it a lot, I think, because I think you can watch Family Guy on it or
There's
something.
Family Guy, Simpsons.
They launched that new, it's called like Star, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
they bought loads of other shows.
It's got the Star Wars on it as well.
It's got Star Wars,
If
it's
you're
got
into that.
Marvel.
I feel like it's one of those ones where I think I wanted to watch... Oh, I got told that I needed to watch Adventure Time, because apparently it's unreal.
Yeah.
I did actually really enjoy it, but I could only watch it on Disney Plus. So there was like a period where I got Disney Plus for like 2 months or 3 months, watched a bit of Adventure Time, and was like,
Binged it.
there's nothing really else on here that I want to watch. So sacked it off. But would you argue that the hype around Disney Plus has kind of died down now?
I'd say it comes in waves, like any streaming platform, I guess.
I
So,
don't think it needs hype anymore. I think it's a big whale now, like Netflix.
yeah,
Like,
it's definitely up there.
It's not so much like hype anymore. It's just you know, would you rather, like, Netflix is obviously the one you want above everything else, right? But then would you rather have all the content on Amazon Prime or all the content on Disney Plus? For me, I'd rather have Disney Plus. So Disney Plus is the second best one, I think.
100%. I agree with you. Maybe that's just the content that we watch.
Yeah,
Um,
completely. And we're like young men, you know. We're not like kids who are into like fairies.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's
maybe you're
the
into
thing.
fairies, Joss. I don't want to speak on your behalf about what you like and don't like, Joss. If you like
No,
fairies,
no,
that's
I'm
fine.
completely on board with you. But I guess the thing is as well, I don't really know any young parents, but I imagine most young parents are having to pay for this Disney Plus subscription because they can't get their kids' favourite shows and films on any other platform anymore.
Dan, you're a young parent. How do you survive with it?
He hasn't got a microphone.
Hasn't got a microphone. That's
Nodding.
great.
He said it's great.
So it's great. Enjoys it for the kids. Fantastic.
Would you rather, cast your mindset into that of a young parent. Would you rather
That
spend...
was me casting. Sorry.
Nice. Would you rather spend your money on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, or let's say Netflix and Disney Plus, or get a TV subscription box thing for your kids to watch children's TV?
Disney Plus, the streaming services, hands down.
Disney Plus.
Just
Yeah.
easy. Just
So easy.
I've seen a lot of people talking about it now, and I am still yet to have to get a TV subscription. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah.
I can't imagine...
Like Netflix or like
no,
Sky
no,
and
like
stuff.
like Sky, yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
haven't
traditional
had one.
television. I don't think I'd ever... I have no reason to.
I've never had one.
Really?
Ever since I moved out, I never had one. Just had Netflix and stuff.
Hot
Just
topic in the office, TV license.
TV license, yeah. yeah. Obviously, we won't go into that because, you know, none of us watch... Well, I don't watch BBC or any of the above, so I don't need a TV
Yeah, can we
license.
move on? This is getting a
Yeah.
bit sticky now.
So this Disney Plus slowdown isn't actually just an exclusive to Disney Plus, which is quite interesting. I want to play a little game. Take a guess at how many new subscribers Netflix have added this year. Bearing in mind we've had Squid Game, new season of Sex Education, which is arguably one of their biggest original shows, and obviously Squid
Is it really?
Game. Sex Education
One
is
of the
pretty
biggest,
huge,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I didn't
And
know it was
Squid
that
Game
big.
is obviously their biggest show in history. I think it's actually just been overtaken, but yeah. And Tiger King Season 2.
25 million.
Maximus?
I'm going to up that and go 50 million.
Dan, through the window, can you give me a guess? 2 million? 20 million?
20 people.
88,000.
What?
That is the number of
New subscribers?
new subscribers
In
to
a
Netflix
year?
this year. Yeah. In this year alone, that's how many they've added, which is down from 6 million in 2020 and 3 million in 2019. Only 88,000.
Is that because there's that many people who are just on it now?
That's what I was going to ask you. I think that's probably why it is. I feel like
Everyone
everyone
has it.
now either
has it.
uses someone for Netflix or pays for Netflix themselves.
Do you have the total subscriber number? How many they currently have?
Yes, it's 213 million. And they've only added
my God.
88,000 to that this year.
Ben, what is 213 million times 8?
What, about 2 bill? Just under 2 bill. Maybe like 1.92 mil. 1.93 mil. 1.93 bill, I'd say. You doing the maths? You working it out? Come on, feet, don't fail me now.
2.82. Oh, God.
Content.
What?
So yeah, I just thought that was an absolutely nuts figure to share.
I got the numbers wrong.
What was it? 234 million?
What?
How many?
That's too many numbers.
213 million.
Oh, 213. Oh, yeah, it's more like 1.6 bill then.
So I did 2 million, 230. Let's move on.
We're getting lost in the sauce here, boys.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that statistic because I thought it was absolutely nuts.
Just
that
under
when
2
they've had
billion.
their biggest show come out, and they're pumping so much into their originals, they've had so few uptake in subscribers.
Dan, can you do 7.5 billion divided by 213 million?
I don't know why I didn't.
What? A billion.
Divided by 213 million. 213 million. 213 million, Dan. It's like he's falling asleep back there. Right.
35.
35. Right. Right. So roughly 3% of the world's population have Netflix.
Mad.
3%. That means if you get 100 people in a room, 3 of them have Netflix. That's not that many.
That's not that many.
I think that more so puts into perspective just
No.
how many people there are in the world.
Yeah. Very, very true.
And also, I suppose, like, you know, I have a Netflix subscription, which my family may or may not use, who I live with in my house. So that's like, you know, that's potentially 5 people on one account. So if there's 213 million, let's just do a basic assumption. It's going to be like 3 or 4 times that. So we're near 1 billion people have Netflix, which seems a lot more accurate.
Which is funny because I wonder if they will try and make a push in. I don't know how they could police that of like getting more money out of people when you can add more multiple profiles. Can they limit you to 1 profile per payment? They can't really take that away once they've given it to you.
I don't know if they have it in the States, but they should definitely have like a 4K Netflix subscription where you pay like extra for.
They do.
They do have that ready.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh,
Because
there you
you
go
can. There's definitely one, because I've noticed my Netflix subscription's like creeped up over the years. I think it started on like £5 a month and now it's at something ridiculous. But yeah, no,
£9,000 a year.
it's £1 billion a year. No, but you could. There's like a subscription where if you're watching it, someone else can't. Like there's only one person allowed on it at any time. And then there's ones where you can get all the really high resolution 4K stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Because they shoot everything 4K anyway.
Yeah.
So you're just unlocking the full potential of that.
It's like Tesla heated seats.
There we go. New topic. Do you want to tease
You
that?
got a
Phil?
Tesla coming?
Well, I don't know if we said it last. Did we say it last time?
You did.
We did say it. Okay, yeah. There's a Tesla on order which arrives in 2 weeks today,
Cool.
and our next tech related podcast, will be inside said Tesla
That is exciting.
while we're driving backwards down the M4.
Oh my god.
That will be stationary. Stationary.
Autopilot.
Stationary.
Doesn't count.
The final little topic I wanted to jump into was Black Friday. It is currently the Wednesday after Black Friday. And
How's everyone's bank accounts just before we get into it?
I didn't. Yeah, actually, Amber did all the Christmas shopping last week.
Good. Nice. Get some deals?
I think so. Yeah.
Smart.
Yours?
I didn't spend anything.
Really?
I didn't buy a thing.
Wow.
Did you, Max?
I was really, really holding off. Like, genuinely, I was really holding off. I was like, every year I fall for it. Big rip.
Back on? Go again. Do
Hello, we are back.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Black Friday podcast.
The Black Friday podcast.
you want to just go from like where you were? You were holding off.
Yes, so every year I always try and hold off from buying things on Black Friday, but the deals are just too good, and the people that create marketing algorithms clearly know how to get into my head. So I bought an Amazon Alexa thinking that it would come next day delivery because Amazon Prime, but no, because everyone else had the same idea I did, and it's going to come in December, at the end of December, which I'm a bit gutted about. Well, I bought some light bulbs as well.
What?
No one wants to hear about my stuff, man.
I do, mate. There we go.
Full bars?
Full bars, apparently.
Jason Derulo.
Walk away, yay.
How's that done? Okay.
And we're back. I can't remember where we got up to, but yeah, I'd spent some money.
I spent some money.
Not that much though, like 20 quid. So that's a win in my books.
Well, that's not too bad, Max.
Yeah, well, I was
mate.
still upset. My
Yeah.
bank account was also upset.
I'm upset. 20 paychecks on my Amazon account.
And then a little bit on kind of Black Friday and spending. Spending actually declined online for the first year in Black Friday history. It's always been on an upwards trend, and this year was the first that it's gone down.
So people didn't spend more this year?
No,
Do you think it's because they've had a whole year of buying stuff online?
I would assume so, yeah. So last year in 2020, people spent 9 billion over Black Friday.
9 billion!
And this year it was 8.9, so not much less.
Oh, okay,
but
come on.
It's still gone down.
Yeah.
It's still dipped. And in-store was obviously up because of COVID last year. It's 47.5% higher, but I assume that was kind of expected. Because no COVID.
No COVID. Everyone was
you-
itching to get back out.
Do you believe that Black Friday is still a time for consumers to make profit or to make a good deal, a bargain, or has it now turned into a marketing ploy for people just to get ripped off for the exact same price?
Bit of both, I think.
I think the latter.
The latter. Yeah.
Does one of you want to lead with your topics?
Yes, sir, I can go.
Conscious I've spoken a lot.
Yeah, so thanks for speaking, Joss. It's time for Pappy to take over now, and we have got some vigorous stats for you.
Jeez.
I'm not sure if you guys have watched it yet. I did ask you both to watch it, so if you haven't, then it's going to be upsetness from my part. But no, I'm just kidding. The Mr. Squid Game Beast video, sorry, the Mr. Beast video where he
Mr. Squid Beast.
recreates the whole Squid Game in a warehouse, every single game.
Can we pull some pictures up, please, Dan?
Yes, Dan, can you do a job? So how did this start, you're going to ask? Well, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gents.
Go for it.
He posted a video on TikTok saying, if this TikTok gets 10 million likes, I'll recreate the show.
Jesus.
Anyway, he hit 18 million likes in 2 days, so he had to do it. It was the will of the people, democracy manifest. So he obviously, if you haven't seen Squid Game, it's like there's like 10 rounds. It starts with 140. I'm just going to start this bit again.
Reload.
How Squid Game works is you have 456 people who are all in deep, deep debt in Korea. And they all get targeted to come on this game show, this private game show held by private investors for the entertainment of very rich individuals. And every round of this game, there's a high chance that you'll die because it's very dangerous. And if you make it all the way through to the end, you win something astronomical like $40 million. Anyway, so Mr. Beast recreates this game and all the games that go with it, and he has 456 contestants, 456 random people. So nearly 500 people compete in this game, coming to this warehouse, signing waivers and everything.
Yeah.
And the prize pool is $456,000 for the winning person.
Jesus.
And there was 0 deaths. But the way he did it, ironically, he had they had this machine that was on everyone's stomach, and if ever at any point they were out, the stomach thing would like a paintball pop, and then their t-shirt would turn a color, and you'd know that they're out. Like 'cause
Wow.
the green light, red light thing at the start, they literally had these things in the stomach. So when it was red light, if there was any motion on their body,
Oh my
they'd
god.
be caught. So
That's so cool. I
Yeah.
was wondering, 'cause I haven't watched the video yet, but I was wondering how they would do that. I wonder if it was like a laser quest kind of thing. I guess a similar principle.
well, I thought it'd be funny if they had like 15 paintball snipers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, move.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. He hit, at the time of writing my notes for it, which was yesterday, there was 122 million views. on the YouTube video, which actually is more views than the actual show. So it just begs to differ. Like, what is the point of making TV shows anymore? Which is all
When Mr. Beast could just trump your TV show like that.
This young kid from America can just make shows like this. The cost to produce said video.
Go on.
Do you guys know the number?
I don't. Off the top of my head.
Have a guess. Not including prize pool.
Not including prize pool.
Just production costs to make all the scenes. Have crew, kit. I guess insurances.
It's got to be a couple of mil.
Yeah, easy.
$2 million to produce the video. Jeez. And then he gave away 1.5 mil in prizes. So overall cost is $3.5 million.
I bet he's already... I would love to know what his CPM is on YouTube, and
it's like 20 quid.
Yeah.
So on 122 million views, on if you were to do, then this is a conservative guess, based on the stats on how much money he makes in other videos. He's not going to make more than 200-300 grand from the video.
Really?
How many views did you say? Yeah, it's got
122 million.
It's got 131 now.
Right, so it's gone up by 9 mil already.
I remember seeing him tweet about it on the day that it was going up, and him saying,
Jesus Christ.
saying it's going to drop soon. And then I saw it drop, and I looked at YouTube 10 minutes later, and it was already on 7 million views within 10 minutes. Something ridiculous like that.
It's the fastest growing YouTube video, excluding movie trailers or music videos. Or YouTube rewinds. Because
they're great content.
YouTube just puts that at the top of the algorithm.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yes, and it took a month to build. There was a month construction for this video,
Wow.
He's not making a profit on this.
So would he be doing that whilst filming other videos?
Yeah.
If it took a month?
Yeah.
That's insane.
He must have a team around him just organising this. But the game shows that he made within the game are very, very similar. You don't walk into these games and you think, this is like a knockoff of what Squid Game was. It looks almost identical. So it's a lot of planning and a lot of commitments gone into making it look the exact same as the game show.
Yeah. I think you were saying earlier, Max, he's an amazing individual, the amount that he puts into his videos.
He reinvests it all, doesn't he?
Yeah, everything he makes
Philanthropy,
goes back into it.
Yeah. He's got loads of different YouTube channels. He's got a gaming channel and a philanthropy channel, and all of the money he makes he tries to give away.
Fair play to him.
He's got to be one of the most dedicated creators on the platform.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
The content
I don't know how you measure that, but
the content, I think, is the pinnacle of clickbait.
Yeah.
Because it's we remade Squid Game, and you click on the video, it's oh my god, they've actually remade Squid Game.
The interesting thing as well is I remember seeing a Twitter conversation between him and another YouTuber, I can't remember who, but he and his kind of team that are usually with him in his videos, they went out and made a 7 Wonders of the World video. They went to all these different locations all over the world, and they never posted it.
Why?
Because he wasn't happy with the end result. And if it doesn't meet kind of his specification as to what's going to make a good video, he's not going to post it.
Yeah, I've heard similar things.
So imagine putting in all that effort and going to all these places and filming the whole video and editing it, and then it's nah, this isn't good enough.
Well, it's right.
It's insane.
It's right, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's doing it right.
Everyone should be doing that.
Yeah, it just shows you what you can do without gatekeepers or bureaucracy. Small-time creators, you can't really call Mr. Beast a small-time creator anymore, but if you compare him to, Pinewood Studios, big-time content creators, they can make waves. It's the power of YouTube. Think how long that the director or the owner of Squid Game. It took him 10 years to get the idea to fruition, and then you probably got a year of production to actually film the series. Mr. Beast will then spend a month building it and filming it, and then put a video out, and it ascertains more views in the space of a week than the Squid Game did in 3-4 months.
Yeah.
A guy from YouTube who started his YouTube career by counting to 100,000 on a live video stream.
Yeah, that's a very
Dan's
good point.
just raised a good point by typing on the TV. Is it not morally wrong that he ripped a series like that?
Well, it's a good point, Dan. It's a good point, and I think the argument is he did say thank you to the owner of Squid Game because it inspired him to do it, and obviously it's his full idea.
I guess that's where it stands. It's this video wouldn't have done well if Squid Game wasn't a thing and wasn't a success.
Yeah.
He also like he made the video after saying if this video gets 10 million likes, I'll do it, and like nearly 20 million people said we want you to make it. So it's like he's doing it for the community, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
In the video, does he reference?
Yeah, at the end he says thank you to whatever his name is. Obviously, you're the complete inspiration to why we made this video, and it wouldn't have happened unless you had made Squid Game. If you haven't seen the series, go watch it now. So I'd
say that's fair enough.
It's a huge honour to him, but like it is a complete copycat.
Yeah. It's amazing. It is really impressive.
Fair play to him.
Can you imagine if he was your little brother, Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
I'd be
weird, wouldn't it?
So annoyed.
Just off to work while Mr. Beast is making Squid Games.
Squid Games. Making the Squid Games.
How would you reckon you would have fared in Squid Game, Joss? What round do you reckon you would
Before
have
I
made
answer that, how the hell did he approach the builders to build those sets? By the way, I'm going to recreate Squid Game.
Where's
You
Squid
find the
Game?
crews to do that.
Have you seen Squid Game? Yes, I want that.
In a month.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I would have been great, to be perfectly honest, in Squid Game.
I think I would have, if I could make it past the biscuit round, I reckon I would have been okay, but I reckon I would have fucked the biscuit round. If not, I reckon I would have battered my best mate on marbles. No problem. I'm pretty good at marbles. Dan knows.
Oh yeah.
But then obviously the tightrope thing when you got to jump on the glass. Brilliant game. That.
Before that, though, the first game,
Yes.
red light, green light, you get in there, you don't know what the situation is here, and then people are getting shot around you. Do you think you can hold your cool then and stay still?
Yeah. Yeah. I think survival instincts kick in, and like I don't know if you know this, Joss, but like I'm pretty fleet-footed. Like I can shift when I wanna, and I can stop when I wanna. I can't run distances like our Danny boy can, but I tell you what, the distances I can move on, I start like a Land Rover, mate.
I think it's the agility thing for me.
Yeah.
Like I'd be running full pelt to try and get to the front, or try and get like as far as possible. I wouldn't be able to stop like instantly and stay like properly still. I get sniped, quit scoped.
I can see you just doing like barrel rolls, Joss.
Yeah, just have a bit of a laugh, really. Just dodge bullets.
It's all fun, isn't it?
Go bullet time, like Matrix and that, you know. Just barrel roll.
Whoa, bullet time.
Whoa, bullet time.
God, you're so cute.
Thanks.
Max, where do you reckon you would have got to on the Squid Games?
To be honest, I reckon I would have been out on the cookie cut one. If not, I reckon I would have smashed the tug of war.
Yeah.
But
Mate, you're huge.
Oh, yeah.
cheers, mate.
I reckon that.
No, I reckon I definitely would not have made it to the end, like 100%.
Nah.
But then I think I'd be too scared to even go, even if I was in that much debt.
Ironically, in Mr. Beast video, 456, the main character in the actual Squid Games, makes it to the last three.
Really?
Yeah, he's in
That's
the last three.
That's cool.
And
Maybe it's rigged.
And Mr. Beast says, like, I'm really glad he got knocked out, because otherwise it would have looked seriously scripted.
To be fair, he's not wrong. Anyway,
Max Boy, on to you.
we have good news.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Big good news.
Go on.
So, I don't know if anyone has tried to buy literally anything over the last year, but probably the case has been that you can't because there aren't enough chips.
True.
Soon come, though, because Ford have partnered with various chip makers to boost the amount of manufacturing, which means that Ben can have his Tesla in 2 weeks' time.
It's already going to be there.
Shout out Ford. And I might actually be able to buy a PS5 in the next 10 years.
Come on.
So, yeah, massive.
So Ford have partnered with the chip company to...
Yeah, basically Ford have been like, yeah, this chip shortage is quite long. Let's fix it.
In the words of Ford himself.
Yeah, of Mr. Ford. So yeah, they're going to be. I think it's been a recent partnership, so it's probably going to take like a month or two or a few months to kick in. But
So there's going to be more manufacturers to make chips now.
yeah, more
Why is
are
it taking so long for that to happen?
because you know they were waiting for a meeting, and then COVID, and then Zoom went down, and like
Things are long.
Yeah, things are just long. But yeah, shout out Ford for getting involved and meaning that I can play PlayStation again.
Are you going to get a PlayStation 5?
Hopefully, when I can. But yeah, the whole chip shortage is just ridiculous. That's why like used cars have gone up so much because they can't get hold of chips and stuff.
Why has it happened?
COVID.
Is it to do with like mining and stuff for the materials?
It's like, yeah, if you like.
Yeah, go on. It's mad that it's affecting so many industries though, because I remember with Ford, I remember seeing a photo, like probably this time last year, of a bunch of Ford F-150s just sat on loads of land, and all they needed was this one chip, but they couldn't ship them without it. It's like thousands and thousands of cars just waiting to go.
It's been awful, mate, because I've had to have my fish without the chips.
Come on. 10 out of 10.
Come on.
10 out of 10.
Dan's shaking his head.
Dad joke.
Vomit.
But I think, to be fair, it is, it's good for Ford as well, because they're partnering with all these chip makers, which means they're probably going to get great rates when it comes to implementing that tech into their cars, and it means that they'll probably get the newest tech into their cars. So it makes complete sense for them to do it.
And I guess they get priority over everyone else because they're the ones fronting some of the costs.
Exactly.
Can you say great rates again?
Great rates.
Sounds good when you say it.
Great rates.
Okay.
I
just tried to do
So that was my big topic.
What's your small topic?
There's no such thing as small topics, right?
Size
I'm
doesn't matter
average
when it
size.
comes to
Lol.
So I kind of want to talk about NFTs because they are blowing up at the moment.
Nice.
And I've got one big question, and that is, do you believe the hype?
I think I read a stat somewhere saying that it was like 90% of NFT projects that will start this year and next are just going to be scams.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of money to make in them.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think all the crypto bro,
Yeah.
Giga Chad community has now moved into NFTs. And for me, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I don't feel safe getting into it. Same with crypto, man. It feels like reckless gambling at this point. Unless you're going to buy something from a very well established. Like if Banksy brought out NFTs, I think that's a really good buy.
Yeah.
But if it's someone like, oh, here's this ape that I designed that's smoking a spliff in a satellite. What were those crazy apes that NFTs that went for loads?
I can't remember what the name of them are.
There's
but
an
they
astronaut. There's an astronaut ape who's smoking like a joint in a satellite, and it went for millions, sorry, not billions or trillions.
I'm pretty sure they're developed in software as well, because I saw a TikTok thing, and I read it somewhere online that artists can develop a character, let's say. So let's say we take going off the ape thing, we take a lion, and we make a graphic of a lion. You can put it in software, and the software will churn out 30 different versions of this lion, and then you just put them all on as NFTs, and you sell them each for £1 billion, and you've made £30 billion.
Do you know what NFT stands for, Joss?
Non-fungible token?
Come on.
Look
Gold
at that.
star for Joss.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, what I don't understand is a lot that I see coming out are like 8-bit style little avatars. Why aren't there more like big grand pieces of art that are doing it, or are there and they're just not getting the hype?
It's that. So there's a lot of. So I think a lot of online creators, photographers, graphic designers, VFX artists are now putting their work out as NFTs. I think the ones that seem to be getting the hype and all the retweets and stuff like that are these 8-bit sort of style. It's definitely a certain style that gets the hype. But there's a lot of like actually very, very, very talented creators and very good photographers that are putting their work out as NFTs.
Have either of you got an NFT?
I did think about putting them out, but again, realistically, unless you're Mr. Beast or unless you've
So are you going to put some out to sell? Or are you going to make your own NFTs? Or are you going to buy some?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I thought about making them myself, just turning my photos into NFTs, but realistically, no one's going to buy them because no one knows me, and no one wants.
Not yet, Max.
Well, no, I feel like they're great if you've got a platform already.
Yeah.
If you're a YouTuber with 2 million subscribers and you say, "Oh, here, buy my NFT," someone will buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Would you consider buying one, Joss? I think with NFTs, the thing that I like in my head is that one day we can have like interactive or digital frames that we hang on our walls to show off for NFTs.
Yeah.
But again, I think the industry or the genre of NFTs needs to be more established before I'd feel safe looking at it.
It seems a bit toxic at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like
It's quick buck, isn't it?
I feel like I'm only gonna buy something like that if I actually only like it anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna I wouldn't buy a piece of artwork for my house that I don't like the look of. So I'm not going to buy an NFT anyway, because at some point I'm going to want to be able to display that when we have these digital frames that you can change all your NFTs on. So it'd have to be like a really nice piece of artwork, I think, for me to want to buy it.
I would liken it to sort of like Patreon. Like if a creator that I've been following for years comes out with an NFT and it's reasonably priced and I can afford it, then maybe I would buy that to put in my online, my digital picture frame.
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't buy it to be like, oh, I'm going to buy this and then sell it for £6 million in 2 years' time or like 2 months.
Yeah.
But Dan, can we bring up that picture that I sent you, please? So this is an NFT, believe it or not. Give me a rough estimate of what this costs.
You know you're not allowed to screenshot them, right? That's illegal. You've stolen that.
No, it's mine. I bought it.
Oh, okay. Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? No. Oh. What is it first?
It is Bumblebee.
From Transformers?
Yeah.
But he's wearing like a bomber jacket.
Yeah.
Sick.
He's styling.
Who is it made? Is it made by Transformers or is it made by
I could not tell you.
How much is it worth?
That's the batshit thing. Who knows? That could be £2. That could be £200,000.
This is the thing. Ballpark.
I'm just going to go crazy for the sake of it. 5 mil.
Right.
500 grand.
Okay. Logan Paul bought this NFT,
Oh, no.
this one right here, for £623,000. Or $1,000, sorry.
Why?
Because
He likes the look of
it's
it.
rad, bro.
Is it?
Guess how much it's worth now?
How much?
Guess.
2 mil?
£4,000.
Really?
He tweeted it.
Who
being like-
who determines the wealth for these things?
He tweeted it saying, and you can find the tweet, it's online, saying, you know, it was like a subtle flex, although it wasn't subtle because he put how much he paid for it in the tweet. Basically saying that he'd bought this NFT and like, oh, jump on NFTs, it's going to go bang, like, you guys need to get on this, and it's now worth $4,000.
But who determines how much that thing's worth if it's going to sell for 600 grand? That's like,
Couldn't tell you.
That's like imagine buying a house for 600 grand and then like you get it valued and the estate agent's like, oh, it's worth 4 grand now, mate.
Yeah.
It's like who says that?
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. Is there like a marketplace for NFTs? Or because they're backed by like blockchain, right? Is that how the whole system works?
Yeah.
Like who?
Yeah, I think so. That's how you prove ownership.
Right. So does Logan then, for example, try and sell it and he's only able to get 4 grand for it? Or is it kind of interest in it or interest in that artist?
This just feels, mate, like people just trying to make money
That's exactly what it is.
rather than like people appreciating art.
100%. 100%.
Glow Gang, $178 to $99 million.
And there's 4,000 of them.
We're live.
Okay, Dan now has a mic, everybody. He's going to talk to us about NFTs.
Hello, Dan.
Dan, you've been doing a bit of research about NFTs, is that right? You know a bit about them now.
Yeah, I actually own one.
Do you?
Yeah,
Have you
Really?
bought one?
yeah,
Do you fuck?
I do.
Go on then.
I own an NFT by an artist called Tracy Emin.
Really?
Yeah.
She's huge, mate.
For me, it's like I now own a piece of her artwork, which I'd never be able to buy. I'd never be able to buy a physical copy of it,
'Cause
but
it's
I've
too
got
expensive.
an NFT.
Can you show us the NFT you have?
Yeah, 2 secs.
Get your NFT out.
Everyone take a photo of it quick.
Did you-
So, Dan, is this an NFT that she released multiple quantities of?
Yeah. So
How many versions did she release?
Like a couple thousand of each one.
She's pretty huge, though, isn't she? She's
Yeah,
very, very
massive.
well known.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's so nice.
But for now, it's £60. I thought £60 is not really that much. Who knows? You know, who knows where it can go? But you just download a 4K video of this, so it's an animation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What do you do with it? What have you done with it? You just have it.
It just sits in your wallet like crypto.
That's amazing. Oh, it's a 30-second clip then. Oh, wow.
So you can display this, I guess, on a TV or something.
Mm.
And you said this sits in a wallet.
Yeah, so you sit it in a wallet like
So it's not like you thought you could format your hard drive and you just lose your £60 forever.
No, it sits like online.
Wow.
So could you, say you get one of these digital frames, could you download it as an MP4 and then display it, or would you have to kind of...
Yeah, I think I can download the MP4 4K video of it and then hold it locally to display, but it also is stored up on wherever
That's really
in
cool.
this wallet.
Are you planning to display that at all?
I guess so. It'd be nice to.
Yeah.
I don't know how or where, but
That's the cool thing about it, though, is you can have digital art that you can display like that.
I think the
Look at
issue
that.
I have with them is that a lot of people online are, especially on Twitter, are putting these pictures out and, you know, boasting their returns and how amazing it is and how everyone needs to get on it, when they're not actually. Well, there's very little online about the losses that people are making, and it's similar across stocks, it's similar across Forex, all of that stuff. Everyone wants to tell you about the wins, but no one wants to tell you about the losses. And $600,000 down to $4,000 is a pretty big loss. And that's on Logan Paul.
He makes a lot of losses.
He makes a lot of losses. All a bit mental. And that is all I had.
Wow.
I had to someone get involved with it.
Yeah. I mean, for Dan's sake, not for Dan's sake, but I completely understand why Dan has purchased one.
That's like similar to what I was saying about Patreon. Like, you love the work. You
love the work.
It's the only chance you're going to get potentially to own a piece of their work.
You buy an art for the art, not for the investment.
Yeah.
And you know, with that Tracy Emin only making a couple thousand, like, that's similar, I guess, to like Banksy only releasing a couple thousand of these prints.
Yeah.
And in 10 years' time, that could be worth bank. Dan might be able to pay off his mortgage.
You planning to sell it, Dan?
Nah, probably not going to sell it. Although
buy it off you.
I had a conversation yesterday with Andy about NFTs, and he was saying, like, with the whole world going like metaverse, all of us going online, you're building your own, you know, profile, your own, you know, personality online, and when you're in the metaverse, you'll be able to display your artwork, your NFTs on your walls within your metaverse, and it's almost like, it's not like a flex, but it kind of is, like, it's showing who you are. So I can go to Max's profile, learn about him by his NFTs that are sitting on his walls and shit like that.
See all my Unsplash photos.
In the future, you think about how quick the internet has moved. You know, we've got the internet, and that's only happened in the past 20 years. Mate, where's the metaverse going? How much online are we going in the future? It could happen in the next 5 years, and in that time we could. Like, you know, we all know, like, we could wake up, put these goggles on, and you'll be working from home in a metaverse.
Yeah.
With art around your room that is you've bought, you know, online.
It all circles back to that, like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we have no idea how this is going to be used, or like how adopted this is going to become. This might be like, we might look back on this conversation in 10 years' time and be like, why didn't I buy that NFT off Logan Paul for $4,000?
Yeah. Is this like a Bitcoin in 2010 right now? Is that what we're doing?
That's what Gary Vee keeps telling me.
Who knows?
It is.
Who knows? Apparently. That's the thing.
He does say that, doesn't he?
All the time. Every single time it comes up on my For You page on TikTok, it's like, you've got to buy an NFT, Max. Buy it now. Buy it now. And then I see a Black Friday deal and I'm like, oh, I've got to buy one.
Yeah, it's sick. I guess it's only, well, it'd be cool if, with Meta and the metaverse, if like there's now, or in the next 5-10 years, there's a place on Instagram and Facebook where you can display your NFTs.
Maybe we should
cool
make like an NFT, an Ottr NFT.
Maybe
like
we
a
should.
Vlog 100 NFT.
Dan's doing a nod as if he's already had that idea.
I think as you were talking about it, I was like, we should definitely design an Ottr wearing something. Camera Ottr NFT.
Right.
Come on.
Fire up in design.
We'll be able to buy it. You'll be able to buy it on
Fire
one
up Premiere Pro.
Let's do it.
Nice. Onto.
So I was just buying an NFT.
Onto the final topic for this podcast. And it's a weird one that I didn't think we'd ever really discuss, but I found a great Twitter thread about it that I think is a really interesting topic to share. So full credit to, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Thrug Fan on Twitter, who's a writer for The Hustle, who basically has given all these facts and these examples and everything and done all the research. So full credit to that. We'll leave a link to that below. But yes, it's all about how Netflix creates their thumbnails to optimize viewership and usage on their platform.
How do they do it?
So, let me just load some facts at you straight away. So, on average, users will browse Netflix for 90 seconds, and if they don't find something that they want to watch, they'll leave the app. That is the average that they've found over the years. And Netflix recognizes this and values the 90 seconds that they get with the user, which is why they put in so much into those initial thumbnails that you see on the welcome screen. In other words, they have to do everything they can to get people to stay on the platform and watch and stick around. So a user will look at a thumbnail for, on average, 1.8 seconds and make a decision on whether they want to, find out more about that show, watch a trailer, or start watching. Humans can analyze an image in 13 milliseconds as well. So analyze that and then
take that,
process.
robots.
Take that, robots. There you go.
We're pretty quick.
And then thumbnail artwork is actually 82% of browsing time. So before anyone actually wants to read about a show, 82% of that time is spent just looking at the thumbnails.
I mean, to be fair, I'd make a lot of my decisions on Netflix shows based on the quote-unquote cinematography. Like, I'll hover over it and just see some of the stills that come up, and if I think that's really well shot, then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. So Netflix uses an elaborate thumbnail selection process for each of its 200 million plus users. The process is called Aesthetic Visual Analysis, or AVA for short, which starts by pulling all the frames from a video. So for reference, Dan, if you could pull up the first image for me.
Pull up. This
is a still from Stranger Things season 1, I believe. And this first 1 hour episode of Stranger Things has 86,000 frames. So Netflix used this AVA system, and it analyzes all of these different frames, and it creates an image like this, and it's got all this metadata. So in a process known as frame annotation, each individual frame is tagged with this metadata, identifying key variables such as saliency, frame number, brightness and contrast, nudity probability, face, and skin tone. So these frames are then graded on these variables. So visual, brightness, contrast, color, all of that, motion blur, contextual, so face detection. So as you can see in this example, we've got the character 11, very bright, center frame, quite a nice contrast on the face, middle of frame. And then the next step is called image ranking. So it then makes a choice and chooses the best thumbnails, and which is, off their previous data, which is the most likely to be clicked. So the biggest winning traits are expressive faces, main characters, and brightness. This is just an example. I'm not entirely sure if this frame is ranked number 1.
That's how it works out. It goes through all the frames and thinks that's going to be the most eye-catching frame.
Yeah.
We'll use that as a thumbnail.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's mental how they've developed an algorithm that does that.
Yeah. So essentially every episode of every show and each film goes through this process so that they can find the most engaging and the best ranked image that they can then build a thumbnail around.
And is that user specific? So it's not what is on average the best. Is it what is the best in terms of the data that we have on you and your watch time and what you like to stop on?
100% correct, Max.
That is insane.
Yes. So we'll get onto that. So Dan, could you move on to the next image, please, mate? Thank you. So this is from the show Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So as you can see on the bottom right example, sorry for audio listeners, this is quite a visual section of the podcast. But the bottom right image is the winning shot here because you've got two main characters with very expressive faces. And that's still just a frame from the show. But it's showing you two main characters and with the expressive faces.
I've got to be honest, that is my favourite thumbnail as well out of the 6. That's the one that tempts me the most.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why would you say that is?
I don't know. I think the top 3, I think, so the 1 and 2 obviously are a bit more centered at feminine audiences, I'd say. Top right doesn't really tell me anything about what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. Bottom left and bottom middle, again, for me, maybe not what I'm into, but then the bottom right is a bit like, who the fuck is Kimmy Schmidt? Yeah. How can I get more onto that, you know?
And it's like, what's happening? Why are they pulling those faces?
Why are they pulling those faces? And why has he got those sick pink goggles on? Exactly. I need to know more. I will know more. I know more.
There you go. Dan, if you could go on to the next image for me, please, mate. So, interestingly, thumbnails that include villains or bad guy characters actually tend to outperform as well.
Really?
Yeah. So, in this example here, we've actually got two that I think were evenly matched. So we've got two bad characters, which, interestingly outperform. Which there's not really any proven reason as to why that is, but that's just a trait that they found.
You'd think Toothless would perform the best, right? Because he's sick.
I mean,
you'd think so, but maybe this just sparks more intrigue, and it's like, oh my god, why is this villain doing this? For example,
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I think I would be most likely to click on the bottom right one.
Do you think as humans then we're more attracted to the evil side of things?
Potentially, I guess it's more story. It's more engaging to have something big happen, because then you want to see the resolution to that problem.
For me, it's bottom middle. Seeing Toothless in that position like that, ready to fuck some shit up. He's about to pop some dragons up.
Do you think it's also because like the ones that won there have a lot going on in them? Like it just looks a bit chaotic.
The top middle looks like Dan, to be fair.
That's so harsh.
Look at him. Dan, can you zoom in on that face a little bit?
It's Dan at GWR. Facial hair.
There he is.
Yeah, that is pet it all over, mate.
Dan, can you do that beard next, please? Thanking you.
Yeah. Dan, can you go on to the next image, please, mate? Thank you. So this is 2 thumbnails from Orange is the New Black Season 1 and Season 2 side by side. And Netflix have discovered that thumbnails with more than 3 people vastly underperform. So having fewer people in the frame actually do much better. I don't know if any of you have watched Orange is the New Black, but for Season 2, they changed it up and they've gone with the main character very bold in frame, taking up almost like a third of the entire image. And then you've got the big bold title right next to it. So yeah, I guess people really like to see main characters more than they do a whole cast.
I guess more people on the thumbnail just looks more complicated, doesn't it? It's a bit more, there's going to be a lot to understand here.
But I'd say this one's quite interesting because I'd argue that in Season 1, you learn more about the show just from that image than in Season 2. In Season 2, say I don't know anything about this show, she's just a woman with toilet paper around her hand. But Season 1, you can tell that she's in prison because of the colour of her outfit and everyone around her wearing matching outfits and the guard and all of that. Yeah. So, again, that's an interesting one.
Would you say then that, I would argue that is specifically why it underperforms. Because on that one, I have to click on that for me to understand what's going on. I have to watch it to see what it's about. And have you ever had it when exactly. Have you ever had it when you start a show thinking, I probably won't like this, and then you get really hooked on it, and then you just become addicted, and then you tell all your mates that they've got to go and watch it as well. But originally, you thought it was going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
So I would say that the second option, where there's less information, gives you enough to be like, oh, I'll go and have a look at that.
Have you seen Orange is the New Black, Joss?
I never watched the final season, but I did watch most of it, yeah.
What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good show.
I enjoyed it. I didn't watch... I can't remember what season I got up to. I got pretty far into it, but...
Is her character a bit of a dick?
A bit of a dick, yeah.
Isn't she dating Ross from Friends?
I can't remember. To be perfectly honest.
What, in the show she is?
Yeah.
I didn't get that far in.
Oh, no, it's Jimmy from American Pie, isn't it? At the start of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but then she is in prison, so...
Stuff happens.
Yeah,
stuff happens.
So one reason Netflix actually started using...
But then she's in prison, so...
So one reason Netflix started using all this technology and going through this process is because they found that artwork provided by the original studios just wasn't optimized enough for their platform. So I guess you look at maybe movie posters and things like that, it's just not... What Netflix says is not optimized enough for their platform and how it works. Go on, sorry. I thought you were going to say something.
I just think that the whole machine learning and AI and Bitcoin and whatever is just ridiculous. Like how they're able to create algorithms that can change the viewing experience based on the history of us is mental to me.
And it's mad that there's someone out there who's been able to code all of this to be like, oh, okay, so... lighting here means good. Yeah. Lighting here means bad, and all of that.
Well, it's not even that anymore. It's code that self-learns that.
Well,
it's code that writes code.
I watched this thing the other day on YouTube. In fact, I don't know why I didn't put this into the top. Anyway, this guy was saying how machine learning and AI is one of the most terrifying things, and people need to wake up. And
Mo Gordat from the Stephen Bartlett podcast.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Scary science or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and he said that, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like every single day before within an hour of waking up or something like that, you've interacted with something like 20 AIs that are all smarter than you are, which is insane.
It's gross, isn't it?
They're saying how very, very soon, if not already, AI will be something like 100 times smarter than humans.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
makes me feel sick.
I think it was by 2030. He said like there'll be an AI which is 1,000 times smarter than the smartest human. And they said the intelligence will get that high that quickly that we won't even be able to comprehend how much more intelligent they are. And it's then we have to make sure to AI that we are worth keeping around.
Yeah, what was he said about like that? The average human is good.
Yeah,
we need to teach the AI that the majority of the human race is good.
Look out for each other.
Yeah,
good people. Yeah,
because on Twitter and stuff like that,
it's all the bad,
full of bad stuff. But obviously, AI will only learn from what it sees
online on social media.
Yeah.
So he says in the books that like good people need to rise up more and stand up for what they believe in, and to have more of a voice rather than just like wiping the hands of it and not wanting to get involved, which I think is the true case, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most people who have arguments online are people who
are stupid.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Amen. So the most interesting part about all of this Netflix thumbnail stuff that you mentioned, Max, is how Netflix then uses all of this data from the show alone, and it then uses it against your recent watch history and what you're interested in. So exactly what you said, where it's then applying all of that data to you and optimizing it even further. So yeah, each individual thumbnail was optimized for you. So Dan, could you go to the next example, please? So this is an example for Good Will Hunting. So the top row is rom-com watchers. So rom-com watchers, so you've got Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and then while you're sleeping, that then gives you a date scenario. So it's saying, oh, you like watching this thing where there's a romantic relationship going on, you're going to like this thumbnail because you're seeing a date and this interaction between two people. Whereas comedy fans, so Zoolander and then Anger Management, that will then output Robin Williams, because obviously he was a great comedy actor. So it's then using those different formulas from what you've watched and then applying it to new thumbnails, which is insane. Could you go to the next one, please, Dan? Here's another example for Pulp Fiction.
Paycheck.
Again, so Uma Thurman fans will get the top thumbnail because it's Uma Thurman, and John Travolta fans will get the bottom one.
I've never seen the bottom one.
No, exactly. Which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's also, it doesn't say in this Twitter thread annoyingly, but I wonder if there's a trend maybe with male and female audiences. Is a male more likely to click on that photo of Uma Thurman because of how she's posing, for example?
Yeah, definitely. So do you think dynamic thumbnails are coming in then?
I'd say so.
And we're going to have the option soon. For choose a thumbnail for your audience.
I've definitely noticed it in the past, and I don't know if you have as well, where I've seen a show or a film be recommended to me once, and then it's been recommended to me again, and it's been a different thumbnail.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that?
I've had that. Where I've gone like, oh, that looks cool. I haven't seen that before. And it's a completely different shot. I'm like, oh, I saw like that was recommended to me like last week.
Yeah.
It's a completely different shot. And now I like the look of it.
Exactly. Which
Scary.
is insane. Anything to keep you on the platform?
Do you think that YouTube would implement this?
I want them to.
Yeah.
Because at the minute, YouTube's auto-generated thumbnails are absolutely trash.
Yeah.
They are terrible.
Yeah.
It just pulls a random frame from the video, and it gives. They need to have kind of tools built into YouTube, I think, where you can upload, then just do some basic photo editing in the platform and optimize it.
Yeah.
I guess YouTube's maybe even gone a step ahead, and the point now is people have to kind of craft their own thumbnails and take specific photos and have, everything going on for it to work well, and it can't just be a frame from the video.
Yes.
Necessarily. But yes.
Have you found, I don't know about you guys, but I've found that I will often go through my Netflix, decide that there's nothing that I want to watch, so switch to another user's Netflix, i.e., my dad's section or my girlfriend's section or something like that, and see what they are recommended.
Yeah. And
see like what access they have, because I'm sure like everyone has the same access to stuff. Well, obviously region specific, but do you guys go to other people's accounts to find new stuff?
I've never thought to do that. Just because I've never had that idea, but I will do that now probably.
I used to have like the VPN thing where you could change your VPN to a different country. I used to change it to the States, so I get American content on Netflix, but don't do that anymore because it's illegal. So
that's
illegal.
Don't touch that anymore.
So yeah,
Nice.
That is the Netflix topic for you.
Thank you, Joss. That's been a great Tech Scheme podcast.
Sorry,
a great tech podcast this week. If you liked it, let us know. If you didn't like it,
don't let us know.
Thank you, everyone, and good night, Jim.
Okay.
See you next time.
In the Tesla.
Yeah, baby.
It did.
Tesla.